Hello and welcome to another episode of Spotlight Sessions. My name's Ilan Fisher, the host, and I head up our nonprofit partnerships here at accessiBe. Today's going to be a really fun conversation because I'm speaking to Deborah Deitz, based out of Miami, who's the executive director of the Disability Independence Group. How's it going, Debbie?
It's good. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here today.
So I had a little bit of a look on your website and kind of heard about your work as well. But do you kind of want to tell me a little bit about your personal and professional history to kind of start the conversation off?
Absolutely. So I started my professional history as a high school science teacher, and then my career evolved, and my husband and I started this nonprofit that I run. It's called Disability Independence Group, and it has evolved. We are celebrating our 20th year this year. So over the 20
Congrats.
years, thank you, it has evolved as the work has evolved, and as an issue comes up that impact people with disabilities, we approach it, look at it, and come up with solutions to help people with disabilities.
And what are some of the areas of advocacy or some of the solutions that you're looking to implement in the area?
Our main goal is that we want people with disabilities to be able to live in the community, integrated, and have the same opportunities as people without disabilities. So we look at this through the lens of education, housing, employment, and just the ability to move around within a community. So it's pretty much comprehensive of any aspect of a person's life that they might need or encounter.
That's awesome and a very large scope. So how big is the team? Kind of how does your day to day look?
Our team is very small. We have about 6 employees, including myself and my husband. We have a lot of student interns that come through our office and are very helpful. Our days are very long, our days are very busy, and people get us through cell phones, through the internet, through email, and we're basically on call to help people as the problems come up that they're seeing.
And for Disability Independence Group, what are some of the goals that have been in the organization for 2022, and what are you still looking to achieve come the end of the year?
Well, we approach our projects in 2 ways. One is through litigation, and I actually have a litigation department with attorneys, and they handle cases through the court system to make sure that the laws that are in our country are being enforced and interpreted correctly. So we that's one approach. The second approach is then we go actually out into the community and we train organizations, parents, individuals with disability, different nonprofits on what the laws are and how to interpret them correctly and how to use them correctly. And our goals for this year and next year is we're still in our state getting through COVID and the issues that impact people with disabilities, and it is still really imminent problem in our community. It's something that we're working on every day because now as it continues, how does it impact people with disabilities and how do they move forward and get back into our community?
And your work is pretty timely to this week. Like yeah, I think it was yesterday or the day before was this 32nd anniversary of the ADA. Do you want to kind of share some of your thoughts on some of the opportunities and challenges that come with it's been 32 years and there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in regards to access and inclusion.
It is, and we were just celebrating it yesterday. So my organization posted about it, as did many. And so I'll give you a few of the things that stuck out in my head. My organization posted about a case we did where we got medically fragile children out of nursing homes, adult nursing homes, and back to live with their families and their siblings. So we posted about that. That's one of our biggest kind of issues that we handled and are very proud of. I had friends that posted that the airlines just put out a new manual on how people with disabilities can fly safer and have less problems. And that's a big deal. So, because that's a big worry. What if your wheelchair gets broken? What about your service animals? So, it was exciting to see those new regulations put out. We're looking at projects where students with disabilities in school and how they can go to school and be in classrooms with other students. So those are some of the highlights from yesterday. Unfortunately, There's still a lot of work left to be done. But if you look back before, we've got a long way, and it's a good thing.
Absolutely, and I couldn't agree with you more. So the progress that we've made as a society is massive, and I've been seeing it progressing a lot in the past year, but still so much to be done. Like the regulation about wheelchairs is also, a byproduct of so many mismanagements and failures on the airline's behalf. But it's all about progress. And Debbie, can you kind of share a little bit of you said 20 years working with this disability independence group. What are some of the achievements that you're most proud of, or even a story or a use case for your nonprofit?
Yeah, one of the projects we're most proud of is called the Wallet Card Project. And it's a project we created to help people with disabilities interact safely with law enforcement and police.
Hmm.
So we created a wallet card, which is a communication tool, and it helps people disclose their disability quickly, safely, and efficiently so law enforcement can assess the situation and hopefully not let a misunderstanding escalate a situation in a bad way.
That's awesome. And how many
We
people are
actually
using that? Or
we've made almost 10,000 wallet cards
wow,
all over the country. I actually am mailing one out to Israel today. Someone
amazing.
requested one from Jerusalem this week. Yeah, since you're in Israel, and we give the project to local police departments and police departments throughout the country, and we work with schools and parks programs and different organizations, and it's a nice project because both sides, the people with disabilities, families, and the police, all are supportive of the project.
That's amazing. And how do you manage to get buy-in from all the different stakeholders for the project?
It's because when we created it and started it, we brought everyone to the drawing room table and everyone participated. So it wasn't like my organization just made this and said, here, this is what you have to use. This is our solution. No, we brought police to the table and academic professionals and our organization. And we all sat together and said, what is the solution that works for each side of the problem? And how do we make a solution work that everybody is comfortable with? And because we approached the project that way, we have found support from all sides.
And that's super important. I love the idea of like before building something, really bringing everybody to the table and realizing, okay, well, how is this going to affect everyone, and how is everyone going to eventually benefit from it? So it's super important and super important principles for life and especially for accessibility. And Debbie, in terms of kind of your coordination and work with the business community, can you kind of explain how you work with them, or kind of what messaging you're putting across to really push your work?
We love to work with the business community, and there really is a disconnect because the business community will hear, oh, this is a law and you have to follow it, and then you've got people that come in and bring lawsuits and don't explain it, and we're like, no, let us tell you the right way to do it. Let us share our information, bring us in. Local cities and governments bring us in all the time for us to train their staff, their employees, so that they understand the right way to do things instead of just being told you're doing it wrong. So
Hmm.
that's the way we like to work. Sometimes we do have to resort to litigation, but our first approach is always, how can we work together and give you the tools you need so that number one, you can be successful, number two, you can increase your business opportunities, because people with disabilities are just left out of the market. So if we tell businesses, if you open and make yourself accessible, all you're going to do is increase your profits and increase your sales, and everybody wins. And that's really the first approach that we take, and it's usually the approach that works.
And I was recently reading, just to go off that point, that there's roughly $490 billion of spending power of people with disabilities just in the US. So for businesses, it is a massive untapped market, and a market that has spending power, significant spending power. And Debbie, really kind of
Not only that, loyalty, they have loyalty.
do you want to kind of explain a little bit more about what you mean about loyalty?
Yeah, absolutely. If a person with a disability finds a place, a business somewhere that works for them and accommodates them and respects them, they're going to not only continue to shop there or frequent that place, but they're going to promote it. They're going to be your best advertisement for the rest of the community, because most people with disabilities talk to each other and support each other and share information. So they become not only your customer, but your salesperson, your advocate, and your marketing person to help promote the work that a business is doing.
I love that, and it's just so true. You know, like once you have a group, a loyal group interacting with your product and your service, and they're telling their friends, that's the best marketing you can ever have. And Debbie, really, just the last question I wanted to ask you is, for people wanting to get involved with a disability independence group, either in Miami or you've now got roots all over the world, what's the best way to get in touch with you, and what are some of the partnerships or goals that you have in the coming months that um, the general public can really just assist with?
Absolutely. The best way to reach us is through our website, and it's www.justdigit.org. We have a very strong monthly newsletter, and we put all of the work we're doing, what we're working on. We talk about emerging issues in the disability world, and join our newsletter, look at our website, see what we're doing, and we keep everything in that as a way to communicate with the community.
Amazing, amazing. So we're going to make sure that we put all of that in the show notes. Debbie, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the Spotlight Sessions. I think it was really timely to have you specifically here this week, considering there was the 32nd anniversary of the ADA, and for all the work that you're doing on the legal and education front, and just combining them both. It's really refreshing to hear those two elements combining. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you. This is really nice, and I enjoyed meeting you today.
All right. Have a great time. See you soon.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Speak soon. Bye.